All right, welcome everyone to a different time of class. So we'll see if more or less people like this time. Sundays have in the past been popular, so we'll see. I am Jessie Mahoney for those of you who are new, and I teach this mindful weekend yoga most Saturdays at 9 Pacific, but sometimes on Sundays. And it is an all levels class, so you should modify as works for you. If anything doesn't work for you, just opt out. A couple of other announcements, just the Mindful Healers podcast that came out today is a fun one. It's on intimacy and sex, but we didn't want to put that in the name. So check it out and enjoy it, and how mindfulness is key to success in those areas. And then next weekend's Mindful Healers podcast is going to be our interview and conversation with Kristen Neff. So about self-compassion, which is what we're going to talk about today in class. So I would love to have you guys tune in. And then for anyone who is interested, I'm going to open up the registration for the retreats, the rest of the retreats for next year this week. So I know that all the spring ones are so far full. I'm going to try to add a May one. I just haven't confirmed the date, but next September and November will open up if people want to join me for that. They are really fun and amazing. So reach out if you have questions or any concerns. And today we will focus on compassion. Self-compassion, not compassion, but self-compassion. So find a comfortable seat on your mat, up on a block if you have a block, or a bolster, but something to nourish yourself and make it more comfortable. Knowing that we usually don't pick that option to start. In fact, we just sit wherever is quickest or easiest. So taking a moment to notice what nourishes you. And as you settle in, ground your sit bones into the earth, or settle, or rest, whatever feels right, but connect to the earth underneath you. And notice your ischial spines, and tilt your pelvic bowl forward and stack each vertebrae with kindness, one atop the other, all the way aligned, all the way through your neck, reaching through the crown of your head, stretching tall. And with intention, drop your shoulders. And with the drop, let go of the meanness or the judgments or the frustrations. And hands can be resting lightly on your thighs. And if you're comfortable, I recommend closing your eyes. If not, just a soft gaze in front of you. Taking a long, deep inhale through your nose once again. And a huge, refreshing exhale. And just take a moment to be here, noticing your 5 senses, wherever you may be, whether you're inside or outside. What do you hear? What do you feel? Perhaps what do you smell? And just enjoy that for a moment. And notice how you can notice when you pause. So one of the reflections that Kristen Neff shared in our podcast was this idea that we are not very wise when it comes to ourselves. We're very wise when it comes to others, but not very wise when it comes to ourselves. We are also very kind to others, but we are often not kind to ourselves. And so in today's practice, I offer this idea of being wise when it comes to yourself, and being kind when it comes to yourself. And she describes wise as acknowledging our common humanity. So that would be our mistakes and our bumps and challenges. It's also the mindfulness component of noticing what's happening and what we're feeling, and allowing it and accepting it. And so the thing that I found new in her words was that self-compassion is not necessarily supposed to feel good. And so it can actually hurt, it can be painful, but that allowing in that hurt and that pain, allowing yourself compassion for mistakes or problems or challenges or where you might be, is the path forward. And that when we resist it, we get stuck. And so that self-compassion is actually opening the door to discomfort. and allowing yourself to be kind to yourself in the face of that. And that and the wisdom that we can apply to ourselves around kindness and that discomfort is how we can best move forward. So I would offer that allowing a little bit of that, taking a moment here to think about something that you're frustrated with, or you wish you'd handled differently, or perhaps something that evokes shame or mistake or guilt or blame. And can you allow yourself to feel the discomfort and also send yourself kindness? So as I love to do, bring a hand to heart. As you do this, press the heel of your hand into your heart space and place your right hand atop the left as a form of comfort and stability and security. And just notice, perhaps, as you think about this thing, can you allow the discomfort, some of the pain, the disappointment, the frustration, the anger, the shame, whatever it might be, and just let it be there. Let it circulate through you as you hold your hand to heart with kindness and breathe in a long, deep inhale and a huge exhale. Notice the skin of your hand touching your chest and the skin of one hand touching the back of the other hand. You can even rub your hand underneath, sending yourself more comfort and kindness. And a long, deep, nourishing, healing, kind inhale. And a huge exhale, letting some of all of that go. One more long, deep inhale of kindness. And an exhale, letting things go. Just notice how you perhaps feel now. Is it a little bit softer? And then bring your hands to heart center, palms touch, each finger pad touches. Take a moment to rub each finger pad together one by one by one. Notice the skin of your palms touch. Press the edge of your thumbs into your sternum and elbows out wide. And take a moment once again to breathe in a long, deep, smooth inhale. And as you exhale, press your sit bones down and fill up your chest, letting the air go out of your chest, pardon me. Everything go. Another long, deep, intentional inhale. And a huge exhale. And pause for a moment and perhaps set an intention. Would you like to be more wise when it comes to yourself? Would you like to be more kind when it comes to yourself? And what might that look like? As Shama Sapiro often says, subtle is significant. And when you're ready, slowly lower your hands to your thighs, open your eyes, let the light come in. And just give yourself a moment to adjust, to accommodate. We often don't do that when we are transitioning from one thing to the other. So can you move through the transitions today with kindness and with wisdom, listening to your body, noticing what feels right or not? Take 3 huge shoulder rolls. Roll your shoulders back 3 times and enjoy it. And 3 shoulder rolls forward, enjoying that. And come to rest in stillness once again. Engage your belly. Find your belly button. Draw it in. Inhale, reach both arms up towards the sky. Palms face one another. Exhale, drop your shoulders. Inhale, reach them tall, tall, tall. Once again, stretch the length of both side bodies. Sit bones root downwards. Exhale, right hand grounds into the mat. Bend the right elbow, stretch the whole left side body. Left fingertips reach towards the right. Inhale deeply into the whole left side body. And as you exhale, if it feels okay for your neck, turn your gaze over that left shoulder, opening the heart space a little bit. Once again, huge inhale here. And a gentle gaze over the left shoulder, opening things up, sending the light and the breath into the whole left chest area, into that pocket behind the heart. Once again, deep inhale and a huge exhale. Press into the right hand, reach both arms up towards the sky. Exhale, drop your shoulders gently. Inhale, reach your fingertips tall and long, root downward. Drop your left hand, palm grounds into the earth, bend the left elbow, right hip grounds downward, right fingertips stretch long towards the left. Inhale into the whole right side body, every nook and cranny with kindness. And on the exhale, if it works for your neck, gaze gently over the right shoulder. Another long, deep, smooth inhale. And an exhale, gaze over towards the right side. One more breath here if you wish. Enjoying it fully. Notice how your heart is tilted and there's a little bit of pocket, room for it to fill in diastole here. Let the breath go. Press into the left hand, reach both arms up towards the sky. Exhale your arms out towards the side walls. Inhale and exhale, press those palms into the side walls, wrists are flexed. Pinch your scapula together gently, release. Wrap your arms around one another, right arm under the left. We're gonna give ourselves a big hug. Wiggle your fingers towards the midline of each scapula as tight as you can. Lift your elbows up over your chest and rest them gently with kindness for whatever might be in the way. Inhale deeply into your chest. And as you exhale, drop your chin and head and neck into the cradle of your arms. Close your eyes here. Notice the stretch in the back body with kindness. Inhale, fill it up with nourishing, kind air. And exhale, let it go. One more inhale here. Wiggle those fingers a little bit towards the midline of the scapula if you can reach a little tighter. And a huge exhale. Allow your head and neck to release a tiny bit more. Notice the stretch in the whole back body. Inhale, bring your chin back up to neutral. Untangle your arms kindly. Stretch them out towards the side walls once again. Wrists flex, palms press into the side walls. Pinch those scapula together gently and release. Wrap your arms in the opposite direction. So left under right, wiggle those fingertips towards your scapula. You may know one side is tighter than the other. Lift the elbows up, gently place them down over your chest. Inhale deeply, stretch tall, crown of the head reaches towards the sky. Exhale, drop your chin, head and neck into the cradle of your arms. Inhale deeply, fill up every nook and cranny of the back body. And exhale, let it go. Raise your chin back to neutral. Untangle your arms, stretch them out towards the side walls. Notice all the sensations as you do this. Lower your hands to your sacrum. Reclasp them at the sacrum behind you. Hopefully, if you're up on a block or bolster, you'll have room. Interlace your fingers, extend your elbows, press your fists towards the floor. Stretch your chest, puff it out towards the front. Inhale deeply. Once again, stretch your spine all the way towards the sky. Crown of the head reaches tall, shoulders down and back. And exhale, let it go. Another long, deep chest opener here to make room for that uncomfortable compassion. Once again, deep inhale right into the pocket behind your heart that often feels hollow, right where we lack compassion for ourselves. Fill it up with nourishing air. And as you exhale, drop your shoulders down and back once again. Release your hands, let them rest at your side. Roll your shoulders back 3 times once again. And forward 3 times once again. Enjoy it. Rest your left hand gently on your left thigh. Lift up your right shoulder, scrunch it up towards your ear. Drop it back towards the back wall and lower it down towards the floor. Your right hand, you're going to bring over to your left hip crease. The palm faces the back wall, so your fingertips may show up on the side here. Once again, lift that right shoulder up, draw it back towards the back wall and lower it. You'll notice a lovely stretch in the front of the pec here. This might be enough for you. Allow that front of your chest to open. If you wish, you can turn your gaze to the left and you'll notice a stretch in the right neck muscles and a little bit more in the pec, and just enjoy it. Deep breath into all of that Subtle stretch. Exhale, let it go. Once again, one more deep breath into the front of the right shoulder. And exhale, let it go. Turn your gaze back to center if your head is turned. Release that right hand, but let it rest on the right thigh. Lift up the left shoulder, scrunch it towards your ear, draw it back towards the back wall and drop it down. Left hand reaches around into the right hip crease, palm faces the back wall or the side wall, depending on how long your arm is. Lift up that left shoulder once again, draw it back and drop it down. Notice the stretch in the front of the chest muscles here. If you wish and it feels good to you, turn your head towards the right. You'll notice a stretch in the neck muscles and the front of the left shoulder. Breathe into it with kindness. And huge exhale, let it go. Turn your head back to center. Release your hand, rest it on your thigh. And just take a moment to notice how you feel. You may want to roll your shoulders out. I know from many of you that you have a lot of shoulder issues. So be kind and gentle and compassion if some of this doesn't work or you have to opt out. And whatever you're sitting on, move it out from underneath you. We will stretch our legs long in front. Move the flesh of your seat out of the way with your fingers. Ground your ischial spines into the floor. If you have really tight hamstrings, you can stay up on your bolster or a blanket here if you wish. Knees can be bent gently. Ankles are flexed, toes flexed towards your nose. Tilt your pelvis forward, grow your spine long and tall. Crown of the head reaches towards the sky. Engage your belly. Inhale, both arms up towards the sky. On the exhale, gently fold forward into an easy forward fold, releasing the back body. If you wish, you can press your knees closer to the floor and have a back of the leg stretch. Notice what feels right to you here. Be wise and show yourself kindness. Whatever works for your body is what's right. Huge inhale into the whole back. And a huge exhale. If you wish, you can allow your head and neck to really fold forward. Breathe in, eyes can be closed. And exhale, let it go. Gently walk your hands up towards your shins, to your knees, to your thighs, and stretch tall. We're going to sweep our feet around behind us, coming into hands and knees. From the kindness perspective, do you need a blanket under your knees? Do you need to fold your mat over along the edges? Notice what works for you. Open all 10 fingers wide, equal Thanksgiving pie shapes between them. Ground all 10 knuckles into the earth, both palms into the earth. Extend your arms, your elbows. Tuck your humerus into the shoulder socket. Engage your belly, back is flat. Knees are hips width, top of the feet, rest lightly on the earth. On the inhale, arch slightly, come into cow pose. Notice the beautiful stretch in the front of your belly and allow it. Reach the crown of your head tall, sit bones reach up. Don't hurry or rush. Exhale, round, suck your navel all the way up to the sky. Drop your head and neck. Inhale, arch into cow. Enjoy the movement here. Let yourself enjoy the pleasure, have fun. It doesn't have to be hard to be accomplishing something. Round, suck your navel all the way up towards the sky once again. Inhale for one more cow. Enjoy it fully. Allow it to nourish your whole spine. Bathe every sore vertebrae, every sore tummy muscle, whatever hasn't moved recently. Inhale, suck your navel all the way up as high as you can. The most beautiful cat stretch. Allow the head and neck to drop completely. Notice your hands on the earth, knees on the earth, tops of the feet. While you're in cat pose, hold it up and gently come back to tabletop. Walk your hands forward to handprint, curl your toes. I'm going to come up directly into downward dog here. Take a moment to take good care of yourself here. Show yourself compassion. Get your hands set right, equal pie shapes, both palms, all knuckles grounding into the earth, arms engaged, tucked into the shoulder sockets. Bend the left knee, straighten the right, press the right heel towards the earth and enjoy that stretch. Notice that there's a little discomfort, but it can come from a place of compassion. Bend the right knee, straighten the left, press the left heel towards the earth and enjoy that. Lift up onto both tiptoes. Sit bones are the apex. Press into your hands, press into your shoulders. Hips go up and back. High, high, high on your tiptoes, as high as you can. Drop your head and neck between your arms. Release everything. Lift up, 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 up on those tiptoes and slowly lower both heels down towards the floor. Enjoy all the sensations here. There's a lot of them. And move slowly. Take a moment here to check in with your heart space. Does it feel light? Does it feel heavy? Can you draw a little bit of that beautiful sunshine wherever you might be and just tuck it into that pocket behind your heart? Gently bend your knees apart, toes together, come into child's pose. Sink your hips way back behind you, wiggle your fingers long in front. If you need props for this, feel free to grab them. Some people need them under their forehead, under their hips, whatever works for you. Take 5 long, deep breaths here. Forehead or third eye connects into the earth. That's your wisdom. Take a moment to be wise about yourself. What do you need right now? What does your soul crave? What does your body need to function better? What is your heart wanting? Huge, deep inhales into that pocket behind the heart, into the back body, upper back body, and let it out. Another long, deep inhale. And let it out. Last deep breath here in child's pose. Gently come back up through hands and knees to downward dog. Hips reach skyward once again. Take a moment to get organized. When you're ready, engage your belly. Inhale, raise your right leg up towards the sky. 3-legged dog. Heel presses into the back wall. Arms engaged, both legs engaged. Hips are square to begin. Exhale, bend your right knee, stack your hips, open up the right hip and roll the right ankle out towards the right. Opening up the front of the right hip, send the breath there. Roll the ankle in the opposite direction. Re-square your hips, extend your right leg back towards the back wall. Heel presses firmly into the back, towards the back wall. On the exhale, bring your right foot between your hands, come into a low lunge. Wiggle the right toes as far forward as you need. Grab a blanket for your back knee if you need. Untuck the back foot, coming into Anjaneyasana. When you are ready, raise both arms up towards the sky and sink down into the hips. Be wise here. Notice if your front toes need to wiggle farther forward so your knee does not extend beyond your ankle. Notice if you have tightness in your hips. Do you need to re-square your hips? Inhale, lengthen both fingertips tall, tall, tall towards the sky. And exhale, sink into your hips a little more. If you wish to keep your hands on your thigh, you can do that as well. Inhale, reach tall once again. And exhale, sink into your hips a little bit more. Notice the huge release in the front of the left hip with kindness, and be wise, don't overdo it. Lower your right hand into your right hip crease. Gently tip those left fingers towards the right, and you'll notice more of a stretch in the front of the left hip, and enjoy it. Noticing that everything here is engaged. Breathe into it once again. Exhale, release. Raise both arms up towards the sky. Exhale, bring them together at your sacrum. Re-lace your fingers, extend your fists towards the floor, shoulders down and back, elbows straight. Notice how the stretch in the front of the left hip changes here. You're using a lot of muscles for balance, so send yourself compassion. Once again, deep inhale into that chest space. And exhale, let it go. Release your hands, bring them to heart center. Press your thumbs into your sternum once again. Notice each finger pad, skin to skin. Use your own skin for comfort. We always look to someone else to make us feel better, but one of the offerings in self-compassion is to offer yourself physical touch. Take a moment and bring hands to heart here. Notice your heart beating underneath your hand and just take a moment to enjoy it. Gently lower your hands to the other side of your front foot. Curl your back toes and lift up off your knee as an act of kindness. Left palm grounds into the earth, twist towards the right, reach your right fingertips skyward. Take your right fingertips, wrap them into your left hip crease. If it works for your arm, shoulder opens towards the back, heart shines towards the sky. Breathe into the chest. Breathe into the pocket behind the heart that opens up here. One more deep breath here. Noticing all the muscles that are engaged, and exhale, let it go. Reach your right fingers towards the sky once again. Lower them towards the earth. We're going to rise up into a high lunge here. So adjust your feet as needed. You can walk up your shin for balance if you need. Raise both arms up towards the sky. Palms face front this time. If you need more balance, widen your stance. Your back heel is off the earth in the high lunge. Take an inhale, stretch your fingers towards the sky. On the exhale, open your hands, your arms into a cactus. Drop your elbows down and back, opening your chest. Lots of balance muscles involved here. Inhale, reach your fingers tall towards the sky. Exhale, cactus, open your chest once again. Inhale, reach towards the sky. Once more, elbows down and back. Inhale, reach towards the sky. Bring your hands to heart center once again. Lower down, hands to either side of the right foot. Hop the back foot forward, coming into pyramid pose. If you have tight hamstrings, grab your blocks. And you can take them on either side of that front foot. Be wise here. Notice what works for you. Some days you may not need blocks. Some days you may need blocks. Use what works for your body. In fact, the blocks are helpers, and often with the blocks, we're able to do more work than without. So show yourself compassion. Notice what works for you. In pyramid pose, both legs are straight. Both toes are facing the front. Tack the right hip back, left hip forward. Notice how that feels. Lift up the right toes, lower them down. Lift up the left heel, shift your weight forward. Lower it down. Inhale, come into a half lift, spine straight, crown of the head reaches forward. Exhale, forward fold over that right leg, releasing everything, head and neck relax. 3 deep breaths here into any tight, painful areas. Allow it, knowing that when we allow it, it releases more. Not in a forced way. Allow it gently with kindness and with wisdom. Last long, smooth, deep breath here. Lift up onto the toes of your back foot. Step them forward alongside the right foot, coming into a forward fold. If you have the blocks, you can keep them there to aid your fold. If you don't, knees bent, head and neck release. Knees can be bent gently anyway. Take your hands and grab opposite elbows. Allow yourself to sway fully here into your toes. Shift your weight. Shift your weight into your heels, to the left and to the right. Take a moment to really enjoy it. Head and neck are fully relaxed and released here. One more deep breath. Release your elbows, release the breath. Engage your belly and slowly roll up, inch by inch by inch by inch. Head will be the last to rise. Enjoy all the shifts in blood flow here. And as you arrive, just let the tingles move throughout. If you can, don't adjust all of your clothes and whatever else needs adjustment. Just take a moment to let things shift and land. Taking a long, deep inhale right into the chest space. And an exhale, letting things go. Shrug your shoulders up to your ears as high as you can. Draw them towards the back, pinch your scapula together and lower them down towards the floor. Palms open, Tadasana or mountain pose. Lift up all 10 toes and lower them down. Tuck your knees, engage your thighs. Tuck your pelvis gently, stack each vertebrae one atop the other. Heart is light in your chest, neck lengthens towards the sky. Crown of the head reaches tall and shoulders drop. Another long, deep inhale here. And an exhale, nourishing everything. Bring your hands to heart once again, either one on the bottom, other one on top, and just take a moment to connect with your heart space once again. Taking a moment to be wise when it comes to yourself. What might be wise for you to shift or change or keep doing this week? How could you be as kind to yourself in your decisions as you would be to a friend? Lower your hands to your sides, open your eyes if they're closed, and just take another moment to adjust. It's kind to give yourself a moment to adjust. Open your arms out and up towards the sky. Palms come together, slight arch back. Fold forward into a forward fold once again. Inhale for a half lift, spine straight, sit bones reach out towards the back body. You may notice some stretch in the back of the legs. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your palms to the earth. Step back to plank or top of the push-up to start. Engage your belly, strong core, strong arms, strong hands. Gently tip forward onto your tiptoes. Bend your knees, untuck your toes, bend your elbows, draw them in towards your torso and lower down inch by inch, chaturanga towards the earth. Forehead rests gently on the earth. Take a moment here. Inhale, weight is out of the hands, lift up into a low cobra. Heart shines forward, crown of the head reaches forward. Exhale, lower down. Curl your toes, press into your hands, and press up and back into downward dog. Widen your stance a bit and take a moment to enjoy it here. Ground both palms into the earth. Engage every finger, all 10 knuckles. Arms strong. Humeral head in the shoulder socket. Sit bones reach out towards the sky. Lift up onto your tiptoes. Both high, high, high. Slowly lower your heels and take a moment. Huge inhale into that pocket of light behind the heart. Let it go. Once again, a huge inhale right into that pocket hidden behind the heart. Fill it up with nourishing, kind air. And exhale, letting it go. Bigger space for your heart to fill in diastole. When you're ready, raise your left leg towards the sky in three-legged dog. Press your heel into the back wall, hips are square. Take a moment, both arms engaged, right leg engaged. On the exhale, bend your left knee, stack your hips. Open the hip, roll the ankle towards the left and towards the right. Send the breath into the front of that left hip. Re-square your hips. Gently bring your foot between your hands. Come into a low lunge. Move carefully and with kindness. Wiggle those left toes as far forward as need be. Fold the mat over if you need more cushion under that right knee or use a blanket. And take a moment here. As you rise up, hands can come to the left thigh. Wiggle those back toes forward or farther back if need be. On the inhale, raise both arms up towards the sky. Exhale, sink your hips down and release the front of that right thigh, the right hip. We carry a ton of judgment and lack of compassion in our hips. Breathe kind, wise, nourishing air into the front of that right hip. And exhale, loosen it up just a little bit. Once again, inhale and exhale. Lower your left hand into the left hip crease. Right fingertips gently stretch towards the left. Notice the change in the front of the right hip. Breathe into it with kindness and wisdom. Don't overdo it. A little is a lot here. You may notice it makes you a little unstable too. You can also just keep your hands on blocks here if that's what your body needs. Inhale once again. And exhale. Raise your left hand up towards the sky. Exhale, both arms out towards the side walls. Reclasp your fingers at your sacrum. Extend your fists and elbows towards the earth, shoulders down and back. Crown of the head reaches towards the sky. Inhale, fill your chest with nourishing air. And exhale, let it go. One more long, deep inhale. And exhale. Let go of your fingers, bring hands to heart center for a moment. Press the thumbs into your sternum, finger pads touch. Sending yourself some kindness. Lower your hands to either side of that left foot. Untuck your toes and raise your right knee off the earth. Right palm grounds into the earth, twist towards the left. Easy twist, as they say. Left fingertips reach towards the sky. I'm not sure it's easy, but breathe into it in whatever way feels right for you. Left fingertips can wrap into the right hip crease if it feels good for you. Roll open the left shoulder and open the heart space. Look up towards the sky if it serves you. Breathe into it. And exhale, let it go. One more long, deep inhale. Exhale, let it go. Extend the left arm up towards the sky once again. Lower it towards the earth. Reorganize your feet. On the inhale, rise up into a high lunge. You can walk your hands up your thighs for stability. Raise both arms up towards the sky. Palms face the front. Inhale, reach your fingertips towards the sky. Exhale, cactus arms. Elbows down and back, chest opens. Inhale, reach your fingers towards the sky. Exhale, elbows down and back. Once again, inhale, fingers reach towards the sky. Once again, exhale, elbows down and back into a cactus. Inhale, reach your fingers towards the sky. Bring your hands back to heart center. Pause for a moment. Reconnect to that heart space. Send yourself some kindness. Gently fold forward, hands on either side of the left foot, pardon me. Hop the right foot forward, come into pyramid pose on this side. Grab your blocks if you wish. And take a moment to enjoy. Notice what works for you. Both toes should be jet line towards the front of the mat. Legs are straight. Use blocks or support if need be. Square your hips towards the front of the mat. Notice how that slight tweak feels. Lift up the left toes. Lower them down. Shift your weight into your right toes. Right heel rises. Lower it down. Inhale for a half lift. Crown of the head reaches forward, spine straight, sit bones reach towards the back. Exhale, fold forward and release completely over that left leg. And enjoy it. Huge inhale and exhale here. 2 more breaths. Sending kindness into the back of that left leg, into all the tight nooks and crannies. Step your back foot forward to meet your front foot. Bend your knees, stick your sit bones up towards the sky. Head and neck releases completely. Hands rest lightly on the earth. Engage your belly and slowly roll up inch by inch by inch. Head will be last to rise. And allow yourself a moment to adjust and just notice how it feels. Taking in a couple of deep breaths here. One more long, deep inhale. Roll your shoulders back 3 times, nourishing everything there. And forward 3 times. And I think we'll actually just come down to a seat. And once again, stretch your legs long in front of you. Move the flesh of your seat out of the way, rock side to side. Tilt that pelvic bowl forward. And sit up nice and tall, engaging every muscle in your belly. Crown of the head reaches tall, neck is long. Bring your fingers to those bones behind your ears and just lift it up so the neck is stretched long, and drop your shoulders with intention. Inhale deeply, filling up your chest here. Everything is engaged. Exhale, bring your hands behind you, come into Dandasana or staff pose. Inhale, everything engaged, chest puffing out towards the front. And exhale, let it go. Noticing how you feel. Let's slowly relax. Raise your arms up so they are parallel to your legs. Engage your belly here. Ankles are flexed, toes are flexed towards your nose. Palms face one another. Engage that belly, and we will slowly roll down, inch by inch by inch by inch, until you reach the earth. Move as slowly as you can. And when you arrive, allow yourself to pause here and keep your legs extended. Adjust if need be, if you land in a position that doesn't feel good. Take the time to notice how you feel, something we often do not do. And take the time to notice when you land, is one hip higher than the other, one shoulder higher than the other. Notice with kindness how your body works, and just allow it for a moment. Notice what connects to the earth, perhaps your heels, perhaps the back of your calves, your sacrum, perhaps forearms, backs of the arms, back of the shoulder, scapula, perhaps the occiput. Notice what's connecting to the earth. Notice the energy from beneath rising up into you. Can you let it in and allow it to nourish and bathe you here for just a moment? Moment of rest where perhaps we think we're supposed to be doing something, but can you just enjoy it for a moment? Bend your knees and walk your heels towards your buttock. Draw your knees into your chest, drop your hands onto your shins, and just rock side by side. Give yourself a back massage, enjoying all the sensations. Bring your hands to the outer edges of your feet. Come into happy baby. Soles of the feet reach towards the sky. Draw your knees down towards the earth, opening up the pelvic girdle and rock side by side. Enjoy it fully. Notice what feels good and what doesn't. If you wish, straight one leg. See how that feels. Press your heel towards the sky. Bend it. Straight the other leg if that works for you. Some of you might wish to straight both legs if it works for you. And just enjoy all the sensations, perhaps some shaking, wobbling, all expected. Bend both knees, soles of the feet reach towards the sky. Draw your feet together, soles of the feet together. Notice them touch. Press your heels in towards your groin. Move your hands out of the way, arms out of the way if your chest is in the way, readjust. Press those heels into your groin for a moment, releasing the inner thighs. Notice your sacrum ground into the earth. Release your hands and lower your feet towards the earth, coming into Baddha Konasana for a moment. Bring your left hand to your heart and your right hand to your belly as a check-in here. Notice if this is comfortable for you. Is the stretch in your hips too much? Do you wish you had a block or a bolster underneath them? Notice if it feels amazing. It's a very restorative pose. We'll just take one more breath here. And a huge exhale. Bring your hands to your thighs. Draw your knees together. Soles of the feet come back to the earth. Widen your knees apart. Untuck your hips if they have become bunchy. Bring the right knee in towards you and extend your left leg long. Left sole of the foot reaches towards the front. Hug that knee in towards you. Squeeze it tight. Notice how it feels. On the exhale, allow it to fall laterally into the hip socket and enjoy that. Inhale, squeeze it tight. Exhale, let it go into the hip socket. One more breath here, just enjoying it. Bring your hands to the back of the right thigh. Extend your right toes towards the ceiling. Press your hamstring into your hands. Flex your toes towards your nose. Heel presses towards the sky. Ankle is flexed. Notice potentially all the shaking. Press that heel towards the sky. Point your toe. Flex. Press into your hand. Point your toe. Notice how it feels. One more. Flex the toes towards your nose. Point them towards the sky. Gently bend your knee. Place your left hand onto the right shin. Release your right hand out towards the side, coming into a T or a cactus, whatever works for you. We're going to draw the right knee over towards the left, coming into an easy twist. You will likely need to tuck your left hip underneath you, allowing the chest to open and the right fingers to spread long towards the right. Notice the stretch in the right hip and enjoy this for a few moments here. Breathe into all the pockets of the chest that open up here. You can extend far into the twist or just a little bit, whatever works for you. More is not better. Notice what feels comfortable. If you want to use your left hand to support your right knee and hold it up so that the twist is less intense, you can do that as well. Breathe into the outer right hip here. Use the back of the right arm for stability. One more breath. Exhale, let it go. Gently twist back towards the center. Bring your hands back to the right shin and hug the right knee in towards you, releasing the hip, releasing everything. Hug it in as tight as you can. And exhale, let it go. Gently release your hands. Stretch your right leg long in front, alongside the left. Allow your palms to rest by your side, open towards the sky, and just notice how different the two sides feel. Gently draw your left knee into your chest, hands on the left shin, give it a big hug. Stretch the right leg long in front. Point those toes and flex them in the right leg. And just notice and then relax. Inhale, hug the left knee in towards you. Exhale, let it fall into the hip socket. Once again, inhale, hug it towards you. Exhale, release. One more breath. Holding it in tight. Exhale, let it go. Bring your hands to the back of the left thigh, straight your left leg, reach your heel towards the sky, flex your toes towards your nose, ankle is flexed. Press your hamstring into your hands. Point your toes towards the sky. Flex your toes towards your nose. Point your toes towards the sky. Once again, flex towards your nose and point, gentle and with kindness and with wisdom, noticing it all. Bend the knee, place your hands once again onto the shin, hug it in, and release. Release your left hand out either in a cactus shape or a T, depending on your room situation and your shoulder situation. Right hand gently guides the left knee towards the right side into an easy twist. You may want to lift up the right hip and tuck it underneath you, or you may just want to do a gentle, easy twist. You can also stack your knees atop one another if that works better for you. Do what works for you. Be wise, be kind, and be mindful. Treat yourself as you would encourage a friend to. If twists are hard, can you just let the judgment go? We often think that if we don't judge, nothing will get done. But when we don't judge, actually the evidence shows that more gets done and gets done better. So perhaps we can let go of that old habit and just allow whatever works for us to be what we need. Knowing that often the inspiration of feeling that we are adequate and doing a decent job actually helps us get much farther. Gently guide that knee back to center. Draw it in with both arms towards you. Give it a nice, kind hug. You need to readjust your hips, do so. Exhale, let it sink into the hip socket. And gently release it alongside the right, enjoying all of it as it stretches alongside. Allow your palms to open towards the sky about 6 inches from your waist. And let your toes fall open towards the side as well. We're going to come into Shavasana here. A little bit more time spent in Shavasana today than usual. Knowing that we often rush this part, the most nourishing, delicious part of yoga. And so today, from a place of compassion to ourselves, we will enjoy it a little bit longer. So if you need to place a bolster under your knees to be comfortable, do that. If you need to grab a blanket or a sweatshirt, depending on where you are, do that. And allow yourself to arrive in a comfortable spot. Notice if anything is uncomfortable and readjust. And take a moment here to draw your attention to your toes and just give them a wiggle, and with intention, let them relax. And notice your feet. Can you let them relax fully? And your ankles, let them go. And your calves and your shins, can you let them relax completely?
your knees, your thighs and hamstrings and upper legs. Noticing your pelvis and your hips and your buttocks. Can you take a moment and just let everything go there with intention? Notice your hands by your side, palms open towards the sky. Can you relax your fingers completely? Open your palms and allow everything to rest gently upon the earth. Notice the backs of your arms along the earth and allow them to relax. Allow your shoulders to relax in. Draw your attention back to that heart space. Do you notice any new light in that space? And you perhaps send a little bit of that beautiful fall sunlight. Tuck it into that chest space to carry forth with you as a reminder of the possibility of kindness and wisdom towards yourself, most of all. Draw your attention to your shoulders and let them go. And to your neck, relaxing all the way up into the posterolateral bones. Allowing your occiput to relax completely, your forehead to relax completely. All the facial muscles to let go. And allow yourself a few moments here to rest fully and completely, nourishing and taking beautiful care of yourself. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Take in a deep, long, smooth, nourishing inhale. And an exhale. On this long inhale, if you wish, stretch your arms long above you and your toes long in front of you. And
then exhale, let everything go. Release your arms, your legs. Draw your knees into your chest and slowly roll over to one side. And pause for a moment. Taking a moment here to be kind to yourself. Noticing that choosing to come to yoga today was hopefully kind to yourself. But how else can you be kind to yourself? What wisdom did you glean about yourself, and perhaps what you might need more of or less of, or just to continue doing? Can you begin this week ahead to be a little bit more wise when it comes to yourself? Press your hands into the earth and slowly rise up to a comfortable seat where we began. You can sit atop a block or a bolster, or just easily rest on the mat. Legs crossed gently, if that works for you, or stretched out long, whatever works for you. If you want to stay on the floor, you can. Bring your hands to your heart once again. Left hand, skin to skin. Press the heel of your hand into your heart space, and right hand atop. Noticing how the physical touch you can give to yourself also feels amazing. We don't need to wait for someone else to do that. We can always connect to ourselves and do something that feels good. Pressing that heel of the hand into the heart space, releasing a little bit of oxytocin, sending it to every nook and cranny of your relaxed body. Taking in a long, deep inhale through your nose, and a huge exhale, letting everything go. Bringing hands to heart center, palms together, finger pads touch, thumbs press into the sternum, elbows out wide. Thank you all so much for joining me for practice today. The light in me honors and reflects the light in each and every one of you. May you all be kind to yourselves. May you all be wise when it comes to yourself. May you all choose to love yourselves this week. Have a beautiful week. Namaste.